down Maryland Parkway, so this is just for law enforcement. We're seeing students leaving the campus, still walking down Maryland Parkway. You could probably hear that helicopter overhead over the campus here. Again, this is the east side of UNLV campus. We're outside of the Lee and Thomas Beam Music Center right here on Maryland Parkway. We just got here to this intersection, so I myself am still trying to gather exactly what everything around here is looking like. They are telling people to leave the campus just right near where we're at, but I'm still seeing people walk down Maryland Parkway, leaving the campus. I can't even count how many law enforcement vehicles are outside of here, but like Darcy had been mentioning throughout this broadcast, is that there is an active shooter on campus, some injuries on the campus as well, and patients are being transported to hospitals. We're still waiting to get official information from law enforcement here on scene, but all of this information just coming into us within the last 30 minutes or so, less than that, maybe 20, 30 minutes. So we're still waiting to get official word from law enforcement out here, but it's very active scene. They're telling people to leave the UNLV campus, to not be here on campus, to avoid the area. They did just shut down Maryland Parkway at Flamingo. Here, hey, photojournalist Lee, I want to have you look at here. You can see police now running down the street armed. So it's obviously a very active scene. You can see these people very confused as to what's going on here. But they are telling people to leave this area. Several students leaving the area. And also on a nearby apartment building, we're seeing a lot of people in the windows looking outside. Obviously, they can hear all the sirens that are going on. But if you're just joining us here on Channel 13, breaking news from the UNLV campus, an active shooter reported on the UNLV campus, reports of injuries as well. We're still waiting to gather a lot of the information here from the campus. I had just left the newsroom and we had rushed over here to see the situation that's going on here. You can just see the number of law enforcement vehicles still pulling up here. We're hearing a lot of yelling from law enforcement down the street, telling people to not drive down to this area. Now we have more. I'm going to step out of the way here and have our photojournalists show these vehicles that are now coming down here. You're seeing a SWAT rescue vehicle right there. We've seen several ambulances pull through this area. Here's some more right here. Coming down a closed Maryland Parkway, just near Flamingo, between north of Tropicana. And we have another police vehicle here. This is the investigations RV that's pulling up right here as well. The Tactical Operations Center that pulls up to several of the scenes that are big, obviously, like this. To give you an idea of the police presence here, I don't know if we can pick up the camera and come over here just a little bit. Bear with us here, our viewers, we're picking up the camera. But I want you to pan down, our photojournalist, pan down Maryland Parkway. You can just see how many law enforcement vehicles are out here that is lining Maryland Parkway on the east side of the campus. So this is obviously just unfolding within the past 30 minutes or so. So we're still waiting to get a lot of information here on the UNLV campus. They were supposed to be updating the media at some point. We're hoping there's a media staging area on another part of the campus, but this all still happening right now. Helicopters still overhead. We don't know where exactly this shooter is in the building. There was a message that was sent out to, I'm going to let this go by, sent out to people here on campus, students and faculty. I had a coworker here, one of our producers, send me what that was. There was an alert from University Police Department. University continues to respond to an active shooter in the BEH. Continue to shelter in place. So they're obviously telling everybody here on campus a short time ago to shelter in place as this was happening. And I'm going to ask this woman if she was on campus here. Hey, were you on campus by chance? Were you on campus by chance?
My sister was on campus. I was on campus.
Yeah, what were they telling you on campus?
I was in my car. I wasn't exactly. I need to get my sister.
Okay, no problem. So obviously someone there, you can see frantic about what's going on here. Her sister on campus here. But all the students, staff, everybody was able to get that text message that kind of explaining what happened. Obviously that's a text message that nobody wants to get, an active shooter on campus. We're still waiting to gather a lot of information. You're taking a look at all this law enforcement, but the street is actually closed through traffic. So we went down Paradise to Flamingo, and the amount of traffic that was in that area was pretty intense. As a lot of people were coming out of businesses. I mean, just listening to the amount of law enforcement, the sirens going on, you can still see people here walking south, going north here on Maryland Parkway on the sidewalk. I'm going to try and ask them if they were on campus, but it's a little bit of a frantic scene here. You just saw the one we just talked to, but it's still a developing situation. Were you ladies on campus by chance?
Yeah.
What was going on there?
Yeah, I can go. We were on the second floor of the Student Union building. Student Union building got evacuated. We were evacuated out by police holding guns. We all walked out with our arms up. When we were walking out, we saw one of the windows had been shot through. So we got out. UNLV did a really good job giving us updates, telling us where the shooter was, getting us out quick. We know that there was at least one shooter in the business building on the second floor. We heard maybe there was a second shooter.
On the fourth floor, maybe.
Yeah, but we're just glad that we're out.
And so you were inside the campus there. I mean, what was going through your mind when this was all happening?
I've been in a lockdown before, so I was mainly just worried about all the people who I was with, making sure that everyone who I knew that was a business major was safe and at home or safe and in lockdown. Just basically frantically texting all of my friends who were on campus, making sure that they knew where they were, that they were safe.
And we just got notice that the suspect has actually been detained on campus.
Okay.
Were you in that business building?
We weren't. We were next door.
Were you hearing from anybody else, if anybody being shot or anything like that?
We didn't hear that anyone got shot. We did hear the gunshots, though. I know at least one of my friends, she was in the business building, just ran out, hopped fences, got to a car as fast as possible.
And did she say how many shots she heard, or how many shots did you hear?
We heard at least 4. Yeah.
About,
4 shots.
That was all we heard, but there was most likely more, I'd say.
So people were getting that text message about an active shooter here on campus. I mean, is that what happened to you at first, or were you told by faculty in the classroom?
We were told somebody.
By a friend.
Yeah, I heard somebody. We were in a big building. We had a bunch of presentations going on today, and we were in a ballroom. And I first heard from somebody there, and then somebody in that room gave an announcement, and then I got the text, and then we just kept getting updates from UNLV, which I commend them. They did a great job letting us know where it was and where to how to stay safe and avoid it.
So, I mean, do you still have friends on campus? Everyone out,
Not everyone's out.
People are still on campus.
I know Student Union is evacuated. I'm not sure if Business Hall is evacuated. I sincerely doubt that it is. Maybe now that they've got them. But,
I mean, what's going through your mind right now when you turn around and see all that?
Just thankful I'm not there anymore.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you for taking time in here to talk to me. I'll take the shot back here.